And the keys, tempo, hey time, let's go.
We bring that real talk when it comes to sports, covering the news, giving you the truth. Nothing but that real on hoops in the league. All things NFL, we don't miss a thing. Getting with the coverage, we loving it all day. Picking up the news, tell us wherever the ball lay. With the NFL, NBA, they box so. Sports news in the hands of a man with fair takes. Tell them, coach, statistics and realness that's being spoke. Either hit it for the win or they hitting the goalposts. Either way, we woke up to the news of the day. Any kid he could call it, he like to talk it out with Ray. Fast breaks down the lane, they better move out the way, or they pulling from perimeter. Curry bury the trade, yeah they got it. Woo! Duval with the hottest, Chris and Dev like the master, and mix it up like it's Logic being modest. They been looking for that real, trying to get it feel. Sports podcast, they run it back on the real. That's a steal, yeah. They never sick, but they ill. Real sports talk going, deliver signed and sealed. We bring that real talk when it comes to sports, covering the news, giving you the truth. Nothing but that real on hoops in the league. All things NFL, we don't miss a thing.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. I am excited to be here with my man Dev on this NBA draft night. We sure know how to pick our nights to record because we've been getting some doozies. How you feeling, man?
Man, I am hanging, man. A little tired, but I'm here though.
We're definitely glad to have you. As y'all can see, it is draft night in the NBA. We are 9 picks in. No trades really. Washington traded up. We'll get to that in a minute. But that was kind of a non-story. I haven't seen the full compensation. I'm guessing we gave some of those second-round picks or something to move up, which I kind of don't understand when teams do that. They move up one spot. But I guess if you really feel somebody's going to take your guy and you think he's it, then you go get him. So I was really hard on Washington on Monday.
Was you? I wasn't even here, and I felt the gunshots and the bullet shells just dropping all over here, man.
Yeah. So hold on one second. I think we have a trade. Dallas is trading with Oklahoma City. So I'll look to see whatever comes with that, or if they put a graphic up. But we have another trade. It sounds like DeMontis Bertans getting traded. A Washington guy. Washington's been all over. We won some rings. In Denver, we've had a lot of trades recently, and even our players are getting traded that we traded. So yeah, we will get into it. They're just doing some little Mavericks coverage, and we don't really care about that because we've already covered them better than they can.
Whoa!
Boom! I said it. John, we will get right to that. John is asking about with Portland, do we think Lillard gets moved? I gotta tell you, the way that and I've only been watching this on ESPN, the way that they've been covering Portland, you would think Anthony Simons is not a player on the roster. Like, everybody keeps talking about Brandon Miller playing with Damian Lillard. Like, there was a guy there that carried them when Dame was out most of last year.
I'm with you.
I'm not sure why he's being so disrespected as a player. Like, he was getting buckets. So I guess it sounds like Simons is going to be the one moved in. Adam Silver, hold on one second.
The Indiana Pacers are trading to the Washington Wizards.
Okay, so yeah, the Wizards traded 2 future second-round picks in 2028. So to move up one spot, I guess, you get basically 2 second-round picks in 2028 to move up one spot. I can't be too mad at that. That may mean something. It may not. And we have a whole bunch of second-round picks, so I guess use them to go get a guy. But now is when it starts, because we traded for all these draft picks. Y'all got to do something with it.
Right.
So I'll be interested to see kind of what comes of that. But John, I think Simons gets moved based on what they're saying. It seems like up until this point, actually in the last day or two, Portland stopped taking Dame trade requests. I think we revisit this around the trade deadline. If Portland does not put it together, if they're just barely hanging in the picture, I think at that point we'll see them move. But I think you got to move Simons because Simons, Lillard, and Scoot, that's just a tiny backcourt. They're all 6'2" and under.
Didn't they go get another guard last year in the draft? Didn't they have? Don't they have Shaden Sharp or somebody?
They do. They also have Shaden Sharp.
Okay.
So I don't know exactly what they're doing. I thought when they got to that pick, since Miller was gone, I thought Scoot would slide a little bit. I won't hold you. I did not see them taking him. So maybe, I guess to your point, John, maybe they're going to build around Sharp, Simons, and Scoot and trade Lillard for some bigs. I know there was the talk about bringing Bam in via a 3-team trade. So maybe that's on the board. I don't know if you maybe try and go after DeAndre Ayton. I think they were interested in him last year. But I don't know what Portland's doing, is the short answer. Deb, any other guidance you can give? Because I don't get it.
I'm just as lost as you. Because like I said, I was talking to one of my coworkers earlier, and they was saying, the same conversation we having now, and I was like, well, they got Shaden Sharp. Why would they keep going after guard if they sticking with Dame? And I'm starting to see what you saying now. Maybe trade deadline, they in the beginning of the season is to see how some of these guys can play together. For the most part, and then if things don't look up or trending the way that they want, maybe they get rid of Dame. I don't know. It's just like Portland has like 3 different plans laid out in front of us, and we are just trying to guess which one they trying to go with because I don't know which way Portland is going. I'm just confused as you is.
So yeah, Chris, shout out to you. Appreciate you tapping in with us. I know. You've been covering some stuff earlier, but yeah, this is an interesting night. But let's start with the trades as kind of these go down. We'll start at the top. Washington was active. And has stayed active. They can't stop trading. It's like we got some kind of disease. We're not attached to anybody. I did. Let me be abundantly clear. I cooked them last Monday, because I thought that was the dumbest trade ever. However, now that I have seen the light, I guess this is the final iteration of it. I give it a C. Getting rid of Porzingis and bringing back Tyus Jones and some draft picks. I didn't love it. I don't love it. I think he solidifies our point guard position. I think he's one of the most efficient point guards you can have, which playing next to Jordan Poole means you need some efficiency somewhere because Jordan Poole, not so efficient. I think this will allow Jordan Poole to play off the ball, which is more of his strength than him being kind of out of control. Obviously, it'll be a very different system. I have no idea what to expect from him in Washington system because I've only seen him in Golden State with a bunch of shooters. Well, some of them guys weren't shooters, but we don't have a lot in Washington either. I think it'll give him a chance to really become whatever he's going to be. This will be, as of this point, his team. And I'm excited to see what he can do in that role. I told y'all before I was relatively high on Jordan Poole. I just think the Golden State Warriors were not as high on Jordan Poole. And I believe that it impacted him and affected him. And ultimately, it saw him get traded. Oh, no, that's an old trade. I was about to say, wow, that's a big deal. But, yeah, I'm optimistic. I don't think we're much more than a play-in team as currently constructed. John, to your point, I do think, and I've been John, you've been watching. I've been telling these guys, this has the potential to be a deep free agent class and quality players. It's not top heavy. There's no Kevin Durant's, Paul George's, Kawhi Leonard's, or anything like that available. But I think there is a lot of quality depth available, and we're seeing we saw quite a few people opt out. So I'm optimistic. I think Washington has work to do. Portland definitely got work to do.
Juwan Howard's son just been drafted to the Orlando Magics.
So I saw Jet Howard, and he went to Michigan. I didn't even realize he was coaching his son.
Me neither.
So I don't know if that's a good thing or not, that we didn't even realize his son was on the team. And Leo, I feel like to a certain extent I do agree with you, but there was a time when Steph got hurt. And to Jordan Poole's credit, I came on here and said, I think they're going to fall off. And they really maintained without Steph. They weren't great, but I think they were about 500 until he came back, and then Steph is Steph. So I think Jordan Poole has shown he was worth the money. I just think there was too many options there in Golden State. I think in the East, with this younger team, I think we're going to play fast. I think we're going to get up and down the court. Somebody going to have to play some defense at some point. And so I think now that, Leo, to your point, now that Steph is out the way, and Steph casts an amazing shadow. Like, that's just a lot. I think we'll see the best version of Jordan Poole. What that is, I don't know yet. But as a Wizards fan, I'm back on the bandwagon because I don't have to watch Chris Paul play. Now, the sick part of this is now he went to Golden State, which is my second team. Really, I just love Steph. I guess I like Golden State, but really, I like Steph.
You ain't like Golden State in the finals a couple years ago, but another day.
I learned a harsh lesson. I think this is what we'll see, and we'll talk about this in just a minute on how that impacts Draymond Green. I don't know what to expect with Golden State's new management, but Dev, I'll kind of turn it over to you as the non-Wizards fan. Based on what you've seen from the Wizards, the trades, do you think they're winning these trades? Are they losing these trades? Is the team better, worse? What do you think?
The team is still at a standstill, in my opinion. Getting Jordan Poole shows that y'all ain't going to drown. That's one thing. Because Jordan Poole, he's gonna make something out of himself there. Now, what are he gonna make out of himself? That's something on him. But I believe that Jordan Poole can make a couple of all-star games in Washington because the training wheel was off there, as people are saying now. He doesn't have to sit there and wait for the offense to develop through Steph or through anybody else. It's pretty much going to be his offense so far. There's no Bradley Beal. There's no Porzingis. There's nobody there. So, right now it's the Jordan Poole show. And I think that's kind of going to help him mentally wise, because I think last year that's where he suffered at. I don't think that his game took a deep dive in. I just think he was mentally disturbed. I think that whole Draymond thing really carried over. I think it was way bigger than what everybody made it seem to be. I think it was all laughing giggles when we all made our jokes about it and say that he made it knock some sense into him. But I really think that really messed the chemistry up with the Warriors. And by doing that, I think the Warriors kind of picked their side, kind of. They saying, well, we like Draymond more than you. Draymond got us multiple championships. You just helped us get one. You know what I mean? Draymond is our guy. They feel like Draymond deserves another contract before there's disruption between him and Jordan Poole. But for the Wizards, y'all not drowning. That's the only thing I can really say, man. It's like y'all make it, y'all not. I'm still kind of confused on which way y'all trying to go. But bringing Jordan Poole is a start. Because like I said, now y'all just got to bring some more talent to build around them.
And I think that's the case for a lot of these teams we're seeing. I don't know what the directions are of these teams that are building. I see a ton of guards being drafted.
Orlando is one of them.
In a league with a ton of guards. So one thing I wanted to touch on was Dallas. They traded for a guard. So I don't know what that means when you got Luka and Kyrie to trade for another guard. Leads me to believe
Kyrie ain't
Kyrie
coming back.
won't be back.
Or Tim Hardaway Jr. I don't know what his contract situation is there.
I mean, I told you that man's a bum. So bum in the sense of I think he was overpaid.
I'm with you on that one. Skill wise, I think he still have a home in the NBA, but overpaid. Yeah, he was in one of them free agency class that one year that a lot of bums got paid.
Yeah, sometimes it's not who pays you, is when you get paid. He came up at the right time, and him, Harrison Barnes, all those kind of guys got a bunch of money I don't think they should have got, in my personal opinion. But they got it, so shout out to them. I'm always going to support black men getting bread, generational wealth.
Thanks. So yeah, you see what John just put up. Well, then I don't know which way Dallas is thinking now, drafting all these guards. But I think that's the only thing really available in these drafts is mainly guards, really.
And I guess if you have to take best available, but Christian Wood is a free agent, so you don't have him. Kyrie, I think, has to be a sign and trade. You can't. I hope you don't trade all that and then let him walk for free. So then maybe you try and put the package together with Austin Reeves and send him to LA where he's rumored to want to go. I don't know what you do. And Kyrie said he's not in a rush to make a decision, which can really stymie your offseason if you're waiting for him to decide what to do.
Yeah, especially if Chris Paul keep getting dealt around the way he's getting dealt. You know what I mean?
Did you see the video of when Chris Paul got told he was going to Golden State?
Nah.
I'm gonna see if I could. You probably won't be able to get the good volume. We got to get more technology for that, but he does not look excited. I don't think Brandon Miller's excited to go to Charlotte either. If I'm being
he put a mask on when he got drafted. Man,
he did everything he could to get dropped down, and they took him. And so he got to ball out. He said him and Melo are cool, but I don't think he wanted to be there. And Chris Paul does not want to be like the lineup I've seen floated at Chris Paul, Steph, Clay, Wiggins, and Draymond. That is tiny.
That was 4 years too late.
I don't think it ever works because I'm very clear. I'll say it on here the same way I've been saying it on the internet. Steph Curry is Chris Paul's daddy. And so now all of a sudden you got this nonsense coming in. What do you think they're about to take the ball out of Steph's hand?
Nope.
Like in late in games, who do you think will have the ball? So
if you have Draymond, if you still have a Draymond on the team, that's your point. That's your point forward. The guy that's been running your offense for the last couple of years. So
what good is Chris Paul?
I don't see it working there because Chris Paul is the guy that's going to dribble the ball out. Golden State doesn't really dribble, dance around too much. They let Jordan Poole dance around a little bit, but after a while, it was like, hey, you can't be dancing by yourself, buddy. You got to move around.
And I don't mind bringing Chris Paul in as a backup point guard. I think he's a phenomenal backup to run that second unit.
I don't think
he's making $40 million.
I don't think Chris Paul mentally is there in the backup stage.
Like, I don't know if they've had that conversation. All I can tell you is he did not look excited to go to Golden State. And I don't blame him. Like, and they asked him, like, what is your role? He said, to help us win games. Yeah, sure. What the heck does that even mean? So yeah, I just don't know what they're doing. Appreciate the support. Definitely appreciate the support there. But yeah, this has been an interesting night. There's been some interesting trades. Mike Dunleavy came in quick and he's making decisions. So I guess we'll get right to it. Does Draymond come back, or do they use that money to go get some other stuff?
If I'm Golden State, you already shipped Jordan Poole. All you might as well go ahead and get some more other stuff now. It's like, why stop? Because what Golden State is having problem with is cap space. And if you bring in Draymond on, let's just say we bring Draymond back for 3 years, 70-something mil. That 70-something mil could have went somewhere else where you could have put depth in your bench. Because if I'm not mistaken, they losing their backup guard.
DiVincenzo.
Yeah, they losing him. So you already lost Jordan Poole. Now you ready to lose DiVincenzo. That's not a good move in Golden State. So I think Golden State. So either if you're going to bring Draymond Green back, kind of make a deal with him. You can't go with this big contract deal. If he wants to come back, if he wants to test his value,
opt out of $27 million to take a pay cut.
Well, then, my guy, I don't know what's this big deal that you're looking for. Then next thing you know, Clay gonna say he want a big deal. Then what?
Should have been traded Clay. But and to John's point, they're losing money by bringing in Chris Paul. Chris Paul made more money than Jordan Poole.
Chris Paul getting paid what, 30 mil for this contract?
I think this year, I do know that it wasn't fully guaranteed. That's why they were Phoenix was willing to cut him. But I think if you end up fully guaranteed, or if his money gets fully paid, he's getting like $40 million.
Too much money.
I didn't understand that part. I don't think they saved the money as it. Yeah, Chris Paul's 4-year, 120. His average salary is $30 million. So I don't really understand that. He's supposed to make 30.8 this year. It's partially guaranteed, but if he's going to start, as Chris said, he's going to accumulate that. So I don't really understand the thought process. And Chris, if this is the direction they're going in, they ain't going nowhere. Like,
why are we gonna put a slower Clay on a 3? It's not. I don't like that move, because a lot of these wing guys are starting to be like a Scoop and all these other guys. That's athletic, very versatile. So I think Clay's past his prime of playing some of these athletic guys now. So I think moving Clay to the 3 it's not really a good move for him.
And Rod, I disagree. I feel like in LA he had mad love, in New Orleans he had mad love. Phoenix maybe not as much, but Phoenix still traded for him when he had that bad deal and gave it. No, I'm sorry, he had a bad deal, and then they re-upped him for an even worse deal. So I feel like he's had a ton of support. He just hasn't produced up to that level. The same way, in my opinion, Damian Lillard hasn't done enough to have the stance he's taken. Like, at some point, you got to win something. So I don't know what Golden State's doing. I don't know if this is an expedited, precipitous fall from grace, but I don't get it. Like, moving Jordan Poole, I get. That was a chemistry issue. But yeah, and Alex, we did another one. But I don't know enough about this guy. He played with Wemby. Wemby seemed excited about him. I will reserve judgment, but they was talking about his defense. They weren't talking about his offense, which we don't got nobody to play defense. So if you get Jordan Poole, you get Tyus Jones, now you have another wing that can play defense. Potentially, I think this means Kuzma's done. I don't think Kuzma's going to come back and play the 4. And you just traded up to draft the guy to play your 3. So I don't know what we doing. In that regard, I think Kuz is gone, and we're definitely not going to pay him all that money. So, yeah, like I said, I think we're a play-in team at best as it stands. A lot of free agency to be determined, shake some teams out. I definitely think more trades will happen as the dust settles. But David West was cool. But Chris Paul didn't get it done. It's that simple for me. I'm optimistic about this one. Rui turned out to be okay once he got away from us. Hopefully we don't redo that. And I pray to God we didn't draft John Vesely again. Because that was a joke. I don't even want another Denny Avdia. We didn't trade up to get Danny Avdia to play. So coaching GM Washington, I don't know what the heck y'all doing, but I do like Jordan Poole and I do like Tyus Jones. I think we could have got more. And matter of fact, Kuz definitely, we got Gallinari came back in that deal. So I don't know where Kuz fits. I think Kuz is done.
We gotta see how Gallinari come back off this injury too.
Yeah, but I don't think you trade for him if you think he's gonna be trash. If he ain't gonna play.
We is talking about Washington right now. You were just low on him the other day. Now don't try just because they made one good move in one day.
I gotta give credit where credit's due. I still say we're a playing team at best. Like I ain't that high, and the East ain't that good. I keep telling y'all that, and people keep talking about it. And I think what's gonna happen, Charlotte's gonna finally be good, and they're gonna be like, "See, we just had to get Mike out the way." And I don't think that's the case.
I'm gonna say, did you think it was Mike? Problem?
I don't. I think Toronto just drafted Grady Dick. So I guess that's to replace Van Vliet, and he got all this red on like.
Oh, you hear what he said in the little conference?
Nah, what he said?
Dorothy has her red shoes, so I has my red suit. There's no place like home.
Go to Canada. Go to Canada and stay in Canada with that bull crap.
When he said that, I was like, "Oh, come on, my guy! You could have found something else to say. What makes you say that? Why?" But
I would have to fact check that because I was told he's not a majority owner, and 55% would make him the majority owner. So I don't think that's right, but maybe I misread some stuff.
I thought he sold all his ownership.
I did too, because he didn't even own 100% before he sold it.
Right.
So I don't know if that's accurate. But I am excited for Charlotte. I believe with
your rod is on one.
with LaMelo. I believe with Miles Bridges, if he comes back, they got to pay him, but I think you can get him on a discount. They drafted Brandon Miller and PJ Washington. That's a very solid young core. Mm-hmm. And none of them outside of LaMelo really is going to cost you anything for the next couple years. I think you give Bridges 3 years, $50 million, and he should take that. But you got to get Gordon Hayward and Terry Rozier off your books, and I think you can trade them and get some valuable pieces a couple different places. But I think Charlotte is in position because I think the East is going to change a lot. I definitely think the East is going to change a lot. And Rod, the Celtics, I guess we could talk about the Celtics while we're here. They're bringing in coaches, but they're trading out players. Bringing in Porzingis, getting rid of Marcus Smart, Tyus Jones. No, Tyus Jones is in Memphis. Getting rid of Gallinari and I think Muscala or somebody else.
Yeah, Mike Muscala.
Is Boston better today or worse?
The same. I like I said on one of my episodes on MTMO. I think Boston is going to take a step back. They took a step back, in my opinion. I just feel like from the team that you pretty much had the same exact team last year, you might have added a couple key pieces like a Malcolm Brogdon, and you still came up short to a team that you beat in the Eastern Conference last year. So it's like and then you move Marcus Smart, like you're defender, you're all defensive player. Now was where that defensive tenacity going to come from. So that's going to. I'm pretty sure people keep saying Porzingis. He did a transition job while he was with Washington, protecting the rim. I can see that a little bit, but the guy that's going to do all the dirty work, the guy that's going to slide across the floor, the guy that's going to make the hustle plays, it's like now Boston don't have that, and I don't think Boston offense is good enough to carry them back to the finals, in my opinion. Jason Tatum and Brown, they good during the regular season, but once they get to the postseason, I always keep saying it, Tatum just disappeared. He puts this little Casper costume on, and he just goes somewhere, man. And I don't see Boston. I don't see Boston as a top 3 team this year. in the East. I think they can possibly fall back to like a 4th or 5th team. I think depending on what Cleveland can do, hopefully this Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland, they can try to reconcile their relationship. I mean, not reconcile a relationship, but at least have a better season they did last year. They can possibly take Boston's spot. So I didn't like what Boston did. Moving Marcus Smart was a risky idea in my part.
Yeah. I'd be torn on Marcus Smart. I've seen him hit some big shots and some big moments, but he flop and he do some other stuff that make you just scratch your head. So for me, I think they had to move him because they had to do something. Malcolm Brogdon becomes the starter. I think that's solid. You're gonna have to pay Jaylen Brown, and I think his max is like $285 million.
And I thought they was gonna let him walk, honestly.
So that Bradley Beal deal, everybody was cooking us for $285 for Jaylen Brown. I don't give him that much money.
No,
that's just me. But now the draft is really happening. So if you was gonna use him to trade up and go get one of them young guys, they gone. So I don't know. I feel like they're almost in a position they gotta pay him. And I think they got worse. I think they're getting older. I think this move says I think they're gonna probably let Al Horford is going to have to go. Robert Williams is never healthy for an extended period of time. And the other thing to me, and I kind of joked about it in some of my group chats, is has the league figured out Jaylen Brown can't go left? Like, I've seen a number of compilations that he struggles to go left. So I like Jaylen Brown, but he's going to have to get into the gym and do some work on that and becoming more consistent, especially in the playoffs. So, yeah, Boston's interesting. Another team we can really finalize that is the Phoenix Suns. They seemingly are done unless they move Ayton, which they didn't move him up to this point. So I don't know why you would move him now. So it looks like they're going to go forward with this roster. I guess Campaign, Booker, Beal, Durant, and Ayton. What are we thinking? Can they win with that? That's a dynamic starting five, but then what?
No, they can't. Denver just showed us. Golden State showed us previously. You can't win a championship without depth. You know what I mean? The Lakers showed it in the bubble. I'm not understanding why teams are just trying to go with this hurry up with a superstar starting five. But then what about your bench? That we thought, I mean, not we, but a lot of people thought once the Suns had got Kevin Durant, it was championship. It was like, no, you traded all these players away. You traded Bridges, you traded Cam Johnson, you traded whoever else for Kevin Durant. And then now you don't have no bench. You didn't use TJ Warren last year. Landry Shamet is your I guess your sixth man now.
Nah, he's with us. He came in that Chris Paul trade.
Oh, so no, the Suns right now, to me, in my opinion, the Suns are a 7th seed team right now.
Ooh.
Yes, they are a 7th seed team.
Wow.
They got the offense. Is Bradley Beal and Devin Booker are the same exact players in my eyes. They take the same exact shots. They play the same exact minutes. They just pretty much the same.
And just really quickly, I believe that New Orleans is keeping this pick, but they just drafted a guard. So that idea of trading Zion to Portland for a guard seems like that's not going to happen. So it seems like they're going to build around Hawkins, McCullough, Ingram, and Zion.
Oh, you know what? That's shout out to Jordan Hawkins. He's from Baltimore. He played at St. Francis Academy also. He's Andrew Reese's cousin.
Oh, I was saying he looked familiar, but I didn't follow college basketball really well enough to speak to it. But this has been a good draft. I think somebody asked earlier, what picks did we like? Has there been a pick you liked more so? Let me say it here in front of everybody. I am not sold on Wemby. I think he has the potential to be phenomenal, but I don't know. Some of the things he said gives me concern.
Like what?
They asked him, I guess, who's the best player in the league, and he said, when I get there in a couple weeks, I'll be the best player. They asked him something about, does he need to bulk up? And he said, well, maybe everybody else needs to get skinnier. I like arrogance. I do. I like bravado, but I know when you talk trash, you got to back it up. And he ain't been hitting the chest by nobody like LeBron James yet. He ain't been hitting the chest like by Jokic. He ain't been hitting the chest by some of these other big men or these guards that they're a little bit more athletic here than they were over there. And there ain't much else in San Antonio. So you're going to be the guy. The pressure is on you. There's no other stars. There's no DeJounte Murray. There's nobody else really to help you. You are it. So, yeah, I think it'll be interesting to see what happens with him.
There go our guy Damian, the troll.
There you go.
There goes the troll.
So I will ask this while we're here. Of the, let's say, top 4. Let's say top 3, because the Twins, I think in Houston, I forget what the other one went.
Detroit. You went to Detroit.
Let's slide them to the side.
Okay.
Of the top 3, who do you think is in the best position to succeed today?
I want to say Brandon Miller went to the Blazers, right?
Nah, Hornets.
All right. I'm going to say Brandon Miller. I think he has the best position so far right now because Portland, like we were just discussing in the beginning of the Portland, we don't know which way Portland is going. We don't know who's the starter anymore. We don't know.
You know, Rod, that's your man. You gotta get your man.
But I think that him going to the Hornets, Brandon Miller going to the Hornets is a better get more exposure. I'm gonna say because up in Portland, Portland doesn't really get a lot of TV exposure. They don't get a lot of recognition. They only, their games don't really get announced a lot. You come into Charlotte, at least, LaMelo kind of brings some excitement there. Now that Jordan finally gave up his whatever percentage he had in the Hornets, he gave that up. And I'm pretty sure now it's going to be like a different buzz down there. No pun intended because, they are the Hornets. But I think it's going to be, something different atmosphere down there. And hopefully with a healthier LaMelo and the plan that you kind of laid out with PJ Washington and Markel Bridges and all that good stuff, that's a good team. That's a solid team. That's a team that could potentially make it to a play-in before Portland does, or even before San Antonio. So I think Brandon Miller kind of got like a head start from the rest of the top 3.
I'm going to agree with you right now. I would like to see. I like Scoot. I don't care what people say. I like him the best out of those top 3, but I don't think that's a good situation for him unless they move some pieces. I will say this. Atlanta just drafted a 6'5" guard. You know who's about 6'5"?
Trey about
DeJounte Murray.
6'3". I was gonna say Trey about 6'3", ain't he? Or 6'1"?
Yeah. Nah, he ain't 6'3". He more 6'1", 6'2", maybe.
Okay.
DeJounte Murray. So this tells me maybe DeJounte's on his way out. Or maybe because this guy averages 2.9 assists per game, so he ain't a passer. So I think Atlanta is gonna move one of their guys because it doesn't really make sense.
Unless he can play 1 year behind, Trey and Deontay.
I don't under. You don't draft somebody 15 to sit on the bench. Like
True, but it ain't no telling that he's gonna. You know what? You know what I can't wait for? The summer league. Summer league is gonna kind of show some, something for some of these players. Whether it's gonna take some time or whether it's just not your time at all. You know what I mean? So that's what I can't wait for. Is the summer league because some of these guys, like you said, I didn't really pay attention to college basketball as deep as I normally do. I caught on the tail end of the season, right before March Madness. So we got it. I can't wait the summer league. Summer league is going to answer some of these rookies' questions.
To Damien's point, I like both of their fits. I won't hold you. I took them out of our conversation, but I love Amin Thompson in Houston. I think he's gonna come in and work. I think Udoka, Jalen Green, and them boys is in for a rude awakening. That basketball they was playing last year will not work, and I don't think he's gonna stand for it. And either they're gonna adjust or they're gonna be out of here. Like that's just not gonna work. I think he fits really well. I think he's mature, and I think he'll be a good fit. I like what Detroit's doing. Monty Williams, they gave him a bunch of money. They gave him a long deal. They got Cade Cunningham coming back off injury. So I think that's they don't have to necessarily rush him back. And they got Wiseman there. They got some other young talent. I think both will do okay. I think they're both in reasonable situations that if they put the work in like they say they're going to do, I think they can be successful. What do you think?
I was rooting for the twin Thompsons. Man, my wife, we got twins of our own. So every time we see
twins,
you never know I had twin boys.
No, I got twin boys. We ain't never talked about that.
Oh, well, we got to talk about this offline then, Doug.
Oh, man. I didn't know that.
You got identical twins?
Nah, they fraternal.
Oh, yeah. See, we got identical. So,
Get
every time we see twins, no matter what draft it is, NFL and NBA, we root for them. Because, like I said, we have twins. So we was sitting here and my wife called it. She was like, now, what if the other twin go get drafted right behind his brother? Would that be something? I was like, yeah, that'd be something. And then, wow.
Here we go.
You know what I mean? So I'm excited for him. I'm happy for him. Like you said, in Houston, they about to. I think I'm not saying that these guys is about to be a championship contender team or maybe a straight playoff team, but play-in wise, I think that Houston should be on the watch. For Detroit, I think it's going to probably take 2 years out of Monty Williams. Because he's gonna have to build a culture down there. Even though you don't gonna have to build a culture down in Houston, but I just think that Detroit might take a little bit more time than Houston because Houston got potential, got good talented players down there. It was just I just think that head coach wasn't able to control those guys. I didn't know how to prep these guys for a game. Detroit, the whole reason why they brought Monty Williams in with that big deal is hopefully Monty can establish a culture there for Detroit. So I think the first year or so is going to be pretty much Monty trying to establish a culture more than Detroit being back to Detroit basketball again. So, but as far as the Twins being there, I like both of them. I think they're going to be in both of their situations for a nice period of time.
Okay. I like to hear it. Now, I was just scrolling. Apparently, I don't have the audio on because we're recording, but there was a view of like a Charlotte Hornets watch party when they drafted Brandon Miller. Not the most excited crowd either. And I note, and it's interesting because when they were interviewing Brandon Miller, he was saying they're going to get to know me and see who I really am. I think he's in a good spot, but I don't know. I don't know that I just think that they should have drafted Scoop. I've been saying it. They should have drafted Scoop. I don't care. They should have drafted Scoop, but we'll see. Like you said, Summer League will be a test. I saw De'Aaron Fox in Summer League, and I said he can play. I saw him in college, but once I saw him in Summer League, I said, oh, he got it. So this will be a heck of a Summer League, and let me tell you that. That's what it is going to be.
This Summer League is going to be very interesting. It's going to be the most interesting Summer League since I want to give it about 2-3 years now.
Yeah. And Rod, he can have it. He just can't have it when they work for the team. Like, ain't nothing wrong. Nia Long gone. So go get it. Just be responsible. I think he learned a lot. He's had some time off. Just don't. And I think it might be better. I think the issue was there was no women in Boston. So the only ones he had to look at worked with him. And you can't do that. So now he will have ample opportunity outside of the arena.
I guess you could say everything's bigger in Texas, huh?
That's what they say. That is what they say. Lofi, that's what I was saying, the same thing. I'm just nervous.
Yeah, but remember the last 7'7", 6", Sean Bradley, George Marathon, all had bad knees towards the end of their career. So
even at this point, Kevin Durant is really starting to struggle the last couple of years.
We already see Chet Holcomb went down in the Pro-Am League last summer.
Yep, missed the whole year. So God, could you imagine if Wemby tears his ACL and get hurt in this summer? I don't even know if he said he was going to play, but that would just be.
I doubt San Antonio was going to let him play. I really doubt.
So his first taste of the NBA, because that was the other thing they were talking about. He's never really played with NBA rules,
right?
This is a different kind of game, so I think Summer League helps that. If you scared, say you scared.
Nah, I'm not gonna say Wemby scared. I just think San Antonio is gonna be scared. They might put him out. They might let him play 2 games tops, depending on because Summer League is in different cities, depending on which. I think Las Vegas last year was the champion Summer League, so they might let him play in the Orlando League because there's not that many teams in the Orlando Summer League. But as far as the ones that's like in Vegas and stuff like that, I'm not gonna foresee him playing in none of those.
Says a lot to me. But hope for the best. In relation to Wemby and all of that. So into Primo. Who's Primo? Like a prima donna? I don't know if that's what you're saying, but I think he will be, the culture will be good. I definitely think the culture will be good for him. And I don't think they're going to rush him because they ain't going nowhere as it stands. Now, I stand by what I said, and I saw Trae Young just tweeted about he's going to be special. I think you can, and maybe we just saw Atlanta draft the guard. Maybe, people going to try and making their way downtown to San Antonio and the Riverwalk, where it's nothing but big women, according to Charles Barkley. So I think there's a lot still to happen. Free agency is in about a week away. And yeah, the Lakers are almost on the clock, so we'll see what they do. Depending on what they draft.
The Lakers don't never own their. The Lakers don't never own their picks. Do we own this pick, man? Sheesh.
Yeah, y'all traded back. Y'all got it. I forget how y'all got it back. 'Cause y'all didn't have no first round picks.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Y'all traded somebody and y'all back in the game. So
we'll see. We're gonna go ahead and get I don't know who's out there. but we getting somebody. I was talking about the pro.
I missed that.
Oh, you gonna have to bring that article to our attention, Damien.
Yeah, I didn't know. I don't know about that. I know they were saying Brandon Miller might have a little bit of an issue with his teammate and all that situation. He was just a witness, so I don't think it's a real issue. But I just there's a lot of negative press around young Miller. I will say that.
Yeah.
And so we'll see. I think based on what I'm seeing so far, if healthy, Wemby should win MVP. He has he's going to have the stats. He's going to be force fed. He's going to have the green light.
MVP for what?
I'm sorry, rookie of the year. I said MVP.
Oh man,
my bad. Misspoke. I don't see an MVP on this draft yet. Maybe in 3 to 5 years. Whoa!
I don't know about that one, buddy.
You could trade him to Golden State for Chris Paul. Ow!
I bet you would take that, wouldn't you?
Absolutely. Yeah, appreciate that, Damian. We'll have to look into that. That's not good. You don't need them kind of allegations. I don't even want to get into that. But this is a happy night. We're not going to talk about liars and what they do.
Whoa.
So hold on. They say coming up. No. They skipped Golden State.
No, none of that.
Hey, why that graphic only got Clay and Steph on it?
Because Draymond ain't there. Draymond normally the guy on the right.
They still got Wiggins. Goddamn. Wiggins better than Clay right now.
Man, they don't care about him. They don't care about it. He took time off last year.
He did. And we never heard what happened. I'm still curious to know what happened.
They said I heard so many different allegations, man. It was something about a paternity test.
Yeah, I heard that too. I think he might even came on here and talked about it.
Then it was something about a death in the family. Then they went back to another, like a paternity test type thing. I forgot. It was everywhere. So I left it alone. I was like, you know what? This ain't Love and Hip Hop.
When the time comes, we will know, I guess. Or not.
Or not.
And for what it's worth, it ain't really our business. So yeah, we will see kind of what comes of it as we go through the rest of tonight's draft.
Hey, Tom Cruise coming to movies.
Actually, speaking of which, because we talked about Anthony Simons earlier, he is in Portland because apparently the Brooklyn Nets declined a trade for Mikal Bridges, and I think it was the number 3 pick and Anthony Simons, if I saw that reported correctly. So my question to you is, and I want to confirm that, but I'm pretty sure that was the trade. If you are Brooklyn, would you have traded Mikal Bridges, or would you have stuck with, or would you have taken a trade, or would you have stuck with Mikal Bridges?
I stick with Mikal Bridges.
Over potentially a Scoot Anthony Simons pairing?
Yeah, I think I still stay with Bridges. Bridges kind of showed us something last year, and I have to finish seeing it. You know what I mean? I just don't want to just be like, oh, man, he showed us something. Because I think if he goes to Portland, we ain't going to see it again. You know what I mean? It's still Dame's team. Dame's still going to take the shots when he's there. But that would have been a nice pairing, though, Dame and Mikal Bridges. But if I'm the Nets, you got to keep a star somehow, some way. You can't just keep trading your stars away just, for somebody that's just hot commodity right now. Don't get me wrong, Scoot is going to be a special player in this league, in my opinion. But Mikal Bridges already showed who he was, already built his resume. And like I said, I kind of want to see more of it. For Brooklyn, they going to have to kind of build around it. I don't know which way to go to build around it because they got a bunch of players that's just on that team. You know what I mean? Like a Seth Curry, Dorian Finney-Smith, Jr. Who else? They got like a lot of bunch of random players. So I think that they need to just go ahead and try to reconstruct and kind of build around Markel Bridges and hopefully you can bring in another star, because I'm not gonna say superstar. You got to bring in another star for Brooklyn to be taken serious. But no, I wouldn't have did that trade though.
Okay. I did not think you would say that. I think Scoot in New York with Simons, I think that's a heck of a backcourt. I think that's exciting. I think that sells tickets. And Bridges, hold on, with the Lakers. Who? Jalen Hood Shafino. I don't know who the heck that is.
Another guard. It's another guard. That's all I know. It's another guard. We got a bunch of guards already. You drafted 2 guards last year. What are we doing?
I feel like y'all need depth at the small forward and up position.
Yes, I feel like you have to find somebody. Oh, Mike Wilson, no. So he must be
Big Ten Freshman of the Year. So I'm not familiar with this gentleman.
Me neither.
A huge surprise, but he looks kind of small.
He remind me of what's the kid on our team now, Christie.
Max Christie.
Yeah, he kind of remind me of him a little bit. Same kind of built, same stature. I don't know what the Lakers is doing on this one.
No, they got him at 6'6", so he's a point guard, shooting guard.
Yeah, Christie is about 6'5", 6'6".
13, 4, and 3. Is he a great shoot? Is he a good shoot? A really good shooter or something?
I'm not 100% sure, but I guarantee he's not going to see no time next year. We barely seen Christie this year.
Yeah, I don't. Does this mean Austin Reeves is gone? Because that's kind of the position you're looking at.
But wouldn't Christie fill in that spot? He's a pick and roll playmaker.
A versatile scorer. I don't know that scoring was. Well, no, y'all play good defense, so I can't say that. And 2, I think might have been John's point. Whitmore is still sitting there.
Yeah. I think I'd have took Cam Whitmore before I'd have took.
I don't think he's gonna fall past Miami or Golden State. So the rich will get richer, in my opinion. I think Whitmore would be a great pick for Miami here.
Yeah, this is another pick that I gotta wait to see this summer league.
Yeah. Apparently, it's obviously a surprise to everybody that he's falling. I don't think he gets past Golden State. If Miami doesn't take him, Golden State would definitely take him.
Man, if he falls to Houston, though.
Apparently, the concern is his medicals. Apparently, there's some medical history that people are concerned about.
Who? Whitmore?
Yeah, Cam Whitmore.
Oh, okay.
But shoot, I think they're tripping. So, yeah, we'll see. I think Golden State's going to steal somebody here either way, based on who's available. I definitely think there's some opportunity there. And I just saw Michael saying, I was like, "Are you talking about the old D lineman?" Lord have mercy. What's wrong? What's wrong with your boy?
I don't know that guy right now. Because at the bottom of that, he said something crazy. So I'm going to go, no, we are not giving y'all no J.K. Dobbins. We're going to fix that problem.
He ain't happy.
We're going to fix that problem. Tune in this Saturday as I just talk about this whole J.K. Dobbins and this contract frustration. The Lakers drafted a point guard because the report.
I keep saying it. I keep saying it. Wiggins and Clay and the pick for Bron. I don't care what Golden State got to do. Do it.
You know Damian trolling, man. Get out of here.
Damian been listening. Damian been getting educated.
Damian is trolling.
Well, I tend to think positively of our viewers. Damian, shout out to you for doing a great job in research and development of your arguments. Rod, take some notes. But no, I'm excited to see what Miami does here coming off. They've been quiet this offseason. They've been rumored in a lot of trades. Bradley Beal, Damian Lillard. But so far, they haven't done anything. And I haven't heard really from Jimmy Butler. Bam was supposed to potentially get traded, but sitting tight. So I'm trying to see Jay Billis is who they were talking about.
I think they talking about Miami, and I still think they talking about either Cam,
Whitmore,
yeah, or the guy the Lakers is drafted. Oh, no, they talking about Cam.
Okay. They
talking about Cam.
Yeah, and them earrings is bling bling. You see them colors. Hey! Can't be talking too crazy yet. We're gonna get to the football for sure at some point.
I forgot who Damian's team was. Damn, you lucky I forgot who your team was. I think you when you a Giants.
I don't think so.
Wasn't he a Giants fan? No, we picked on him when he said his team. Dang, I forgot. Damien, put your team back up there again, my man. You trolling tonight, man. I think you coming for me too. Oh, you right, John.
Bears fan?
You is right.
So yeah, I'm trying to hold off to what Miami does. The pick is in. Hopefully it's Whitmore. If not, Golden State. Y'all be idiots not to take them.
But you think Golden State should take him with the Kuminga and who's the other Moody? Already is the forwards there.
Moody's more of a guard. I don't think Moody's that big. Moses, I don't think he's that big. I didn't think.
But I think they be sliding him into that 3 spot here and there. You know what I mean? So
they got him at 6'5", but Whitmore's a solid, thick 6'7". Pause. So let's see Miami. No, they did not draft Cam Whitmore. They drafted this guy from UCLA.
What was his name? Did it say Jaime? I knew they called him Jaime earlier, man. I knew that was his name. Oh man, that's all right. I guess how tall is he?
6'6". So
I don't like this Miami. I'm not liking this.
What is this like? Tyler Hero's replacement?
Ooh. Well, maybe they might be trading Duncan Robinson away.
Yeah. We're gonna see. Oh, apparently the rumor was that the Warriors loved him alongside Steph Curry, and that is dead now.
What?
So,
Jaime?
Apparently.
Oh.
Yeah. We gonna see.
It look like he won't be blowing his hair in Golden State.
But he gonna be able to blow it in Miami. Miami ain't a bad place to live.
Nah, it's not. No state taxes.
17 points a game, almost 50% shooting, 17 and 8, solid. I'm only looking at the stats, but them real good numbers.
Do you think now? Does this help Miami out from where they left off from this past season? Or this another project play that we have to wait?
To me, this says Kyle Lowry is probably going to stay, and he doesn't really take any minutes from the undrafted guys. Gabe Vincent, Caleb Martin, I think all of them are fine with this move.
Stroops.
Strus, I don't think he's going to take their minutes. I think Duncan Robinson is on the clock. I think Duncan Robinson is on the clock, and potentially Tyler Hero. But I think they're going to really try and get Duncan out of here one way or another.
I think they need to get Duncan out of Miami while he still has some value left.
Because I think he increased his value. He played well in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
I think if you're a team like Milwaukee, a team like Memphis,
I think Golden State can use a Duncan Robinson also.
nah.
Not another shooter. Another shooter though. I ain't saying a starter. I'm not saying a starter, but somebody come off that bench they give Clay a little breather or Steph a breather.
They got Chris Paul.
Anywho.
But no, I think you got Gary Payton, Moody, Kuminga. They drafted, I think, Baldwin last year. They got Lamb, who's a big man, but he kind of plays away from the rim. So I don't think Duncan Robinson would be the best fit there. I'm trying to think with that contract, maybe Philly. I think Philly could use somebody like Duncan Robinson if you can get Tobias Harris out of there. Maybe you send him to Brooklyn to pair him with Bridges.
You probably gonna lose PJ Tucker. You better keep Tobias Harris if you lose PJ Tucker.
Well, I think PJ Tucker's best days have passed him by.
That's what I'm saying. You gotta keep somebody that's gonna play PJ Tucker. You need somebody to go out there and do cardio. But that's what PJ Tucker was doing. He was getting his cardio in.
Good cardio. Aggressive cardio, you know.
About almost 100 games worth of cardio.
So this is completely. Hold on 1 second. I was trying to see. They're just talking. Can Hero stay healthy and shoot? I think it was kind of a freak accident. His injury. Oh, they didn't put it up. I don't. Hold on 1 second. They're talking about Chris Paul. Okay, they're talking finances. All right, they ain't talking about nothing. So yeah, I think this is a great opportunity for Golden State here to do something. Bob Myers is gone. Mike Dunleavy Jr. first pick. Questionable trade decisions. So I don't know what they do.
I don't see Hero really staying healthy a lot. I think Hero is almost at the point to you almost find a value for him also. If I'm Miami, if because you're going to have for Miami to actually go deep into the playoffs. Of course, they're going to have to keep some shooting there, but you also going to have to try to bring another star there to help Jimmy out. And with all these same type of role players, I think that's what's kind of holding Miami back because they all play the same type of role, and they all just stand in the corner or stand on the wing and hopefully just shoot. So if I'm Miami, I go one more year with Hero, and then after that, it's time to find his value.
I don't know who this little curly hair boy is that they just drafted.
That ain't what you wanted to say. Nothing.
You just traded for Chris Paul.
So is this draft guard heavy?
I don't understand this. Apparently, he was gaining momentum to Warriors. Who is this guy? He's 6'5". I just don't understand. Yeah, I don't know what this is. I did just see um the difference in tax bill was crazy. It's
Mhm.
253. There's almost a $200 million difference if they don't sign Draymond. So I don't know. Oh, this guy, 44% three-point shooter, of course. Average almost 20 points. So maybe this is Jordan Poole's replacement.
I would say he's versatile, so he might be that Jordan Poole replacement.
So a cheaper Jordan Poole. Hold on.
I guess that's a okay move. But well, he looked like he
And he
looked like
replaced DiVincenzo.
I was just going to say that's what he remind me of, DiVincenzo.
All right. I mean, Golden State, well, they can't go out and get nobody in free agency because they ain't got no money. But
Especially if
I,
you're going to
I
side
think
Draymond back.
you this to me says you got to trade Clay. I think you got to trade Clay. You got too many of these kind of guards.
So if you
If
trade
you keep Chris Paul, you got to trade Clay.
Clay, you keep Chris Paul. Do you sign Draymond back now?
I don't know. Based on what I just saw, the tax bill going from 263 to 67, Draymond gotta go. Now, if you trade Clay and don't bring back equal contracts, maybe that allows you to then re-sign Draymond. But Clay to me has to go. Between Wiggins, this kid, Chris Paul, Moody, Gary Payton IV, who they brought back, Steph, Chris Paul, like I I don't really understand this. So I think Mike Dunleavy got some work to do to iron out this roster and figure out how it works. But I like the look of the kid. I will tell you that. He looked like a hooper. He had the little shiny looking Louis Vuittons on his feet.
I like the look of the kid. He looked like a hooper.
He looked like a hooper. He looked like the guy you want. He looked almost like Jack Harlow.
So we going to get a White Man Can't Jump remake
Nope,
again?
we don't need any more of those.
So I'm taking you ain't like the remake.
I didn't even waste my time.
I don't think you should, my man. I'm mad that I wasted my time.
LeBron got me with Space Jam. They tried to get me with House Party. Boom, killed that.
Oh, House Party was phony.
I didn't see it, but I heard it was terrible by everybody.
Man. Oh no!
When movies come out and you either don't hear nothing or don't hear nothing good, that's all I need to know.
You know what? House Party did come out on my birthday weekend, and I haven't heard nothing about it since. So you're right. You're absolutely right.
You know what I have heard a lot of great stuff about? Spider-Man. People keep telling me how great it was.
Yeah, that and Transformers.
Haven't heard a lot about Transformers, but you know what I have heard a lot about? Flash. Boom.
I knew it was going to be phony because I'm sorry. DC just can't produce good.
Can't get it right. Can't get it right.
They just can't.
John has a suggestion. Van Vliet. Oh, real quick. Van Vliet for Hero. I
do it.
But didn't Toronto just draft a guard? Well, Hero's not really a point guard. Yeah, I could see it. I think the money would match. I think you got to then move Vincent. I don't think Vincent wants to be a backup, and he's gonna want to get paid, and you're not gonna pay him to be a backup. So I think maybe you package him with something else because they're gonna have to pick between those four undrafted. They ain't all gonna want to be minimally paid. So maybe this helps expedite it.
I think they lose 4. I mean, out of those 4, I think they lose 2.
If this was to happen, boy, oh boy, chalk one up for Golden State. Like, I think Rui fits great. Austin Reeves would fit great with this guy. And
I would hate it. I would hate it.
And for y'all, who's y'all starting point guard right now?
We don't have one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? D'Lo was up in the toss.
Who's y'all draft?
Schroeder was up in the toss. So we don't have no true point guard right now.
But y'all just drafted somebody. Wasn't he a guard?
They ain't no.
Was he a point guard?
He's like a 2 guard.
Yeah.
What did I say earlier, John? No, I'm not liking it. No, not at all. You're gonna bring in Declan, Klay Thompson, a person that's running behind, Father Time that's chasing behind LeBron. Then we got street clothes AD. Nah, you know what I mean? I'm not liking it. If we do that, I swear that the Lakers we'll be back into a 0-10 start again, or 2-10 start again.
Houston got Cam.
You
said it.
I knew you wasn't. Houston is making moves so far. I like
Houston making moves.
I think Houston is winning the draft so far.
They got a steal here with Amin. Yeah, all right.
I think Houston right now, in my opinion, is winning the draft.
Damian, we're in the same boat as you. Something else has to happen. I don't know what that is. John, we agree. Houston is, and that's the great part about. I don't know if you guys have been seeing the graphics about how many different champions have been under Adam Silver versus under David Stern. It's almost the same amount in a much shorter period of time.
Yeah,
and I think it's for this reason. Like, when there's nobody on either conference that just scares me. Denver's still Denver. Like, we haven't talked about Denver at all tonight, but we also wasn't talking about Denver until we were. And so, Bruce Brown opted out, and then Aaron Gordon isn't as young as he used to be. Michael Porter Jr., we don't know what's going to happen with him. So, will they get complacent? Can they stay healthy?
If they're going to lose DeAndre Jordan, if they're going to lose Thomas Bryant, if they're going, you know what I mean? It's a lot on that back end, on that depth that, Denver going to have to kind of look at.
So now the Rocket, I think Ime is a happy man. Hey, there's a guy in Philly right now that said he might want to come back to Houston. I'm just saying. You pair him with them and Jalen Green still there? I don't know. And then they drafted Jabari Smith last year.
Yep.
Hey,
this team is very stupid athletic, boy.
Houston, do we have a problem, Houston?
And they still got Kenyon Martin's son down there too.
Hey, yeah, that's a nice cheap bench role player.
So if all they gotta do is just buy into Udoka defensive system, what helped Boston get to the finals last year. If they can do that, I'm not saying that they going to the finals, but right now Houston is a for sure lock-in play-in team.
Here's what I will tell you today. Here's what I'm gonna tell you today, barring any other changes. I got Houston better than Portland right now.
Ooh.
Stamp that.
Stamp that. So Houston was at the bottom of the Western Conference. So you telling me that Portland would be in the bottom Western right now?
I'm saying Houston's going to jump Portland. I don't know where Portland going to be, and hands down agree. Houston might just fool around and pass Dallas. Hey, let me say this.
All right. Well, who's the best team in Texas right now?
That's where I was about to go. That's exactly where I was about to go. You read my mind. Houston might be. They just got to get one. I don't know who the one is. Don't go get Chris Middleton. Leave him wherever the heck he at.
You know what I think they should do? They should
Okay.
bring back Christian Wood. You should have traded him away.
Yeah,
Right?
but he's gonna get in the way of Jabari Smith. I
thought Christian Wood's more like the power forward center
They
type.
both like the same guy. They both can play five, but neither really is a five. Almost like Evan Mobley.
Okay.
Evan Mobley shouldn't really play five, but he can.
Right, okay. All right.
But I think you need a man. I think James Harden is a great fit. I think James Harden would be a great. He's a great facilitator. He can run pick and roll. He can control the offense, but he can play fast when he need to.
They need a mobile big man. They need somebody like a Bam. Somebody that can run the
great.
Somebody that can run the floor. Somebody that can, control, can hold his own in the paint. Because Bam, his value went up also this finals.
Or there's a guy in New York. Maybe if you need defense, Mitchell Robinson. Put something together. Go get Mitchell Robinson so that Jabari don't got to play center. He don't got to guard the fives.
Right.
And, Houston got some opportunity. They got a bunch of cap space.
That they do.
None of these people we talked about is getting paid. And a lot of them is in contract years, which means they better show up.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't show up, you will get shipped out. So now I'm excited for Houston right now.
Yeah, Houston.
I like that.
They looking up. Let's see what Brooklyn do with these 21 and 22.
They bought into Mikal Bridges. They said, we don't know that. I don't know that. I think he can adjust his role, and maybe. A lot of people today would say Kyrie can't win you a championship, but he did at one point. So I think Harden is capable. He was willing to take the pay cut last year. He tried it. It didn't work. I'm not going to crush James Harden. Now, will he be the one to hit the shots to win the championship? I don't know about that. But I think he can be a contributing member to a championship team.
Now, if James Harden was to come back to Houston, do you put him in the start lineup? Do you try to bring him off the bench? Okay.
No, I dropped Jalen Green. Who was the other starting? Kenyon Martin Jr. I thought they had another guard there. The thing is, with all their young talent, because they're not getting paid much, you can send them all to the bench and shorten Harden's minutes and still get them plenty of minutes.
Right.
In my opinion, I think there's enough flexibility because they're not getting paid. I think you can go out and look at maybe a Jordan Clarkson if you're Houston, somebody that can go out and get your buckets off the bench. So I think Houston has a lot of opportunity and they got a lot of cap space to do something. So hopefully, so far, I'm not even going to say hopefully they don't mess it up. I think they're doing really well. So we'll continue to see, kind of how this shakes out.
So who's your top? You said Houston's the top Texas team right now. Who comes number 2, San Antonio or Dallas?
Today, I'm going to go Dallas.
Okay.
But they got a lot of work to do. Wood's gone. Kyrie's gone. Tim Hardaway Jr. is washed. They traded Bertans away.
And I think they lost JaVale McGee also.
I think JaVale McGee's going to be gone. So but San Antonio just got a lot of holes.
Right.
So Brooklyn, what they going to do? Okay, I like that.
They go Clowney. Okay.
They went with a big, I think, and they got Claxton is a big, and I think they had another big.
I think that was pretty much it after that trade deadline. I think they only had. No, they didn't. They had somebody else.
Because they got a lot of stuff in the KD trade. I don't remember everything they ended up getting. I think Vucevic and Reed would be too slow for me. And I don't think Kevin Love is trying to play with them young boys. I think they're all too slow. They can space the floor. I think Kevin Love enjoyed Miami. I could see Kevin Love going to a contender or somebody ready-made. I think he would stay in Miami. He's valuable. I think he can play a lot of places.
I think that Nash Reed can fill that Houston void. Very athletic. I don't think he's that up in age, if I'm not mistaken. I can see the Reed going to Houston and maybe helping Houston out
He
with
had
that big man.
11.5, shot over 50%. Yeah,
He's
he's only 6'9", though. I feel like that's if you gonna get a big in Houston,
yeah, you
I
gotta
think
go.
get a real big. I
Gotta
think
get
you gotta let Jabari be Jabari at the 4. So it's like all the bigs are great defense. There's not a bunch of big scores in this draft I've seen. All the guards are scores and all the bigs play defense.
But I think that's how college kind of shape you up to be.
Yeah, Carl Anthony Towns is like that. Anthony Davis was more defensive in college.
Yeah, so
Whoever this kid is, he got look like Rich Paul is his agent. Okay, and Brooklyn is back on the clock, so we'll see what they do from here. But we're gonna take a quick aside from basketball because we got fight news, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, sir.
We got fight news. I sent a group chat that David Benavidez had said 45 million to Canelo, and he ran.
No.
Said, I don't want the smoke. But the news is reporting that Canelo Alvarez does have actually, it's not the news reporting. Canelo reported it. If you've gone to his social media, he put a video together. In that video, he did not release who he is going to fight. But it is being reported that Canelo will be fighting, I believe, in September. And the rumor is it will be Mr. Charlo at super middleweight to become undisputed. So he is putting Canelo's putting all of his belts on the line. And I just want to know kind of what you think. Is this the right move? Let me see. It's set to defend his undisputed super middleweight championship September 16th versus Jamal Charlo. And it's a 3-fight deal for Canelo, so he will be around for a little bit more. I'm guessing there's going to be definitely a rematch clause in this fight. But what do you think?
I think that he shouldn't have ran for my guy Benavidez, but we still get a Canelo fight, and I think it's still going to be a good fight. I don't know who to weigh in, who I'm going to side with yet. I think September is like a nice little 4 months away. So anything can happen. I'm gonna just let it build up a little bit, but I think it's still going to be a good fight. Not the fight of the year. Probably third best fight this year, maybe straggling number 4. I think Canelo, like I said, I'm a fan favorite of Canelo, but I just think that now him finding a lot of fighters that's value a lot other than Benavidez. It's like who can Canelo fight soon? I think, like I said, it's going to be a good fight. I like I like both the Charlos. You know what I mean? So, I just think that if this is a 3-fight deal, maybe hopefully that third fight we can get a Benavidez if it's not a rematch. Coming out of this one, because I feel like if you Canelo, you put all your belts up, you feeling real confident that you can beat Charlo. Now I'm not saying that it's going to be a easy fight, but just like John said, Charlo hasn't fought since 2021. So
it's definitely not a warm-up fight.
Yeah. So I just feel like this is a fight that Canelo knows he feel very, very confident that he's going to win, and maybe hopefully, like you said, that third fight or maybe that second fight we can get that Benavidez fight.
Okay, wow. To John's point, I don't want to see him fight Bivol. I think that was too high in weight, and that's my concern here. Is super middleweight? That's a lot of weight. I don't know if Charlo's power translates at that weight in the way Canelo's power translate. I saw when Canelo fought Caleb Plant, and there was just a difference in power. So I'm definitely excited for the fight. This is what we wanted. We got Crawford Spence. We had Davis Garcia. We're getting Charlo Alvarez. We're getting a lot of the big fights we want. We should get Davis and somebody soon, or Stevenson and somebody soon, or Haney and somebody soon.
No, Haney fight. Haney just fought.
Just fought. T.O. just fought. Loma has fought. So let's unify all this. Let's undisputed all this. I don't think let's see what Daniel said. I don't think we'll ever get Canelo versus Benavidez because Canelo said last year they don't. Oh. Well, he's an idiot. And Brooklyn just drafted a guard. Duke's had a couple players drafted. I think this might be the second or third one. So congratulations to Duke on getting some people drafted. Business as usual. Kentucky's been quiet. I think they've only had one player drafted.
A lot of these big name schools kind of been a little quiet, especially in the beginning of the draft. Because remember the first 4 picks wasn't even out of college. So maybe college has lost their ways of being top draft picks anymore now.
We saw a lot of the players was G League elite, overseas. Only person was Brandon Miller, and he might need an education because he's been saying some crazy stuff. He was trying to talk his way out of Charlotte. I don't care what nobody say. He don't want to be in Charlotte. But there's more money in Charlotte at the number 2 pick versus number 3, but not a lot.
Not a lot, but just a little bit.
Just a little bit. But yeah, I do not care about Jake Paul and Nate Diaz. They both can kick rocks. I'd rather watch Conor McGregor fight the Heat mascot at this point.
Wait, what? What'd you just say?
Nah, you ain't see he put the mascot in the hospital?
Yeah, would you rather watch that than Jake Paul and Nate Diaz?
Yes, that's what I said. It looked like the Shy is coming back. That's cool.
About time.
Yeah, it's been a minute. But they got that writer strike and everything.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm surprised that that show lasted long the way it did, the way it started off in the beginning.
It's come along. It got a little too, I'll use the word progressive for me. A little too all-inclusive sometimes, but it's come around. I'm still a fan of the show. So
same here.
Good to see an advertising on the NBA. So shout out to them for that. But yeah, we got a lot of fights. So fight this Williams. I believe J-Rock's fighting this weekend.
Yeah.
So fighting is back if the refs can just stop ruining it with these BS cards that they put now. I forgot who I've watched this past weekend, and the cards are just way too wide for as good of a fight as it was. Thoughts on G League first female GM head coach? Actually, we weren't going to talk about this. I was going to skip it, but we here now. And we talked about the Mayweather thing. We'll get to that in a minute. I'm not against. How do I want to say this? I'm on Eighth Network. This is not Ray's network. If you can do the job, you should get the job. I'm gonna say that. But I think there's a lot of minority coaches that would like to have that opportunity. So I'm not familiar with her and her resume as to how she got this position. I like Sacramento. I picked them last year, so I think it's great when we do have that. But if you are going to come into our world, I think you got to be able to play by our rules. And what I mean by that is, I don't know. Did you see the Brittany Griner situation?
Yeah, I caught a glimpse of it.
So, from what I understand, and if anybody in the chat can correct me if I'm wrong, basically, she got harassed at an airport. Like, I've heard what they do to NBA players. I've seen them throw popcorn on them. I've seen them do all kind of stuff to NBA players, and you just got to take what it comes with it. I watch what they do to soccer players around the world and the racism that they endure. So I understand protecting your players. But now, from what I understand, Brittany Griner gets to travel basically private or charter to avoid a heckler. Like, that's where they lose me. Like, I'm all for equality and inclusion and all that, but I don't know. So to this coach, if she earned it, like I support Becky Hammond. Now, she ain't about to get no Spurs job now. I thought she might come back, and shout out to her championship with the Aces. But
not with that allegation sitting on top, sitting on top of her head right now.
But you got to think, the Warriors had a player punch somebody, and they was chilling.
But it's different when it's females showing their fiery side versus when the males show their.
And I'm not with that. When Angel Reese and LSU was talking that trash, I fully supported that.
I was with it. You know what I mean?
But if you're going to dish it, you got to be able to take it.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to be able to take it. But you know what? That fan knew enough about her to even attack her. You need haters. Like, that's what drives business. If all you got is loyal supporters, that ain't really what drives the needle.
Oh, Chris Murray almost played with his brother.
Oh, he did. They played together at Iowa, though.
Yeah, he almost played together in the pros, too.
That would have been potentially cool. But yeah, I don't like that. Yeah, and one of her teammates now they get to fly charter. Like, if y'all could afford to fly charter, y'all should have been flying charter first off. But two, for that to be the reason, I don't know. Seems a little soft to me.
The whole charter part is the part they got me. Cause like you said, if you can fly charter, then these females should have been flying charter. You know what I mean? This is what, like 2 years ago when WNBA was talking about their traveling expenses and how they was traveling and stuff like that. And it takes a heckler to finally to get the females, what they've been asking for. It's like, and you only gonna give it to one player. Like, nah. You know what I mean? It's been, I'm pretty sure that the NBA, and I'm pretty sure NBA guys is probably used to it, probably love it, or whatever the case may be, especially like a KD. He ain't gonna do nothing but just get a burner account and talk about you. But you have to do that for all the females though. You just can't just. I understand Brittany Griner is just coming home and she's probably gonna get a lot of special treatment just because of the way she was treated in Russia. But you can't just keep babying her. It's just you can't shelter. Like, I'm pretty sure she went through a lot of harassment as she was growing up. You know what I mean? She's a tall female. So I'm pretty sure you got picked on. So for you to try to, kind of get sensitive now. I don't know how far the heckler went, you know what I mean? Because we're not there, but if they went that far, you have to find a better way for females to travel so they won't get heckled or anything in that nature, not just one person.
So no, I agree. And obviously I wish them the best. Let me see this. If it was another superstar WNBA better, I think I pick up what you putting down.
I'm kind of picking it up because I pretty much just kind of said it when I said, Brittany Griner kind of getting babied just a little bit more than other females. Because back to the Becky Heyman situation, when I forgot the lady that was pretty much getting tortured or whatever she said she was while she was pregnant under the Aces care. It's nobody's babying her. Nobody came to her rescue or anything in that nature. We just kind of swept underneath the rug. Once she got traded to a different team, it was like, oh, okay, the situation over with. Becky served her 2-game suspension and it's over with. But like I said, I'm a fan of Brittany Griner. I support everything that she's doing, but at the same time, you just can't keep babying everybody. You know what I mean? So I feel like if this situation was another superstar in the WNBA, it wouldn't have went to this full extent of private stuff and stuff like that. You know what I mean? I just think they would have just swept underneath the rug, and that's what WNBA is having a problem with. It's like trying to be a players' league because the players is telling you what they want, and I feel like the league is not really fighting for what these women need in this league. So I'm with you on that one, John. I don't think another star would have got the same treatment.
But I think the issue is, and this is just the harsh reality, if y'all want men to come into your sport, which is what y'all need for views and for advertising and for money, then you got to do stuff that appeals to men. And that kind of behavior don't appeal to most men. Like, that's soft. That's the very thing. Could you imagine if that was an NBA player?
Oh, he got clowned.
They would have been cooking him.
They'd have been cooking him on every sports show. First take, probably even on Real Talk, we would have got him.
Like we cooked Zion. And that's not even it really is kind of a sad situation because you want to talk about grooming and predatory behavior. Like, she got him early. And we ain't really take that approach and we ain't going to serious this conversation out, but these are real situations where people crush. Nobody criticizes the WNBA players the way we do. Like, Skip Bayless has made a career criticizing LeBron James and Aaron Rodgers and others. Like, that comes with the territory when you want to be one of them. John Morant has got a ton of criticism for not breaking the law. Like, what are we talking about? So, Damien, I don't want to say it's dumber because in reality, people lost their lives and there's been a ton of jokes. But that's another thing. If that submarine had a bunch of women on it, I don't think people would be making the same jokes. But because it was a bunch of men, we can make all the dumb jokes. There was a game cube controller controlling it. How dumb was this? I would never, blah, blah, blah. And that's, I guess, the world we live in, but those are not the things that's going to get you the ratings you want. That's going to get you the money and the advertising dollars you want, to fly the way you want, to have the jerseys the way you want, to have the facilities the way you want. Criticism comes with that. Negativity sells. TMZ, Shade Room, Hollywood Unlocked, all these people are getting millions and millions of dollars off negativity. When you have someone attacking you, sometimes you just got to lean into it. Mm-hmm. Become the hero. LeBron talked about that. He wanted to be liked, and eventually you got to become the villain. Jay-Z said, long enough for the hero to be turned into the villain. And when you can overcome that, Lil Wayne, Kanye West, Jay-Z, Tyler Perry, when you can overcome the adversity and still thrive and be successful, that's it. What do you think Jackie Robinson's life was like? Carl Lewis went to the Olympics and came back and had to race horses.
Jim Brown.
Like, I saw, and I wanted Regina King's movie. What was that movie? It was so good. I want to say One Night in Hollywood, but that's not what it was called. Dang, it was a really good movie. I'm going to have to look it up. But it talked about Jim Brown. And they showed a situation where it was the owner came out and loved him, blah, 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 and this, that, and the other. But then when he was asked to go in the house, he said, no, you can't come in here.
Good one, Kyle. I forgot about Liz Cambridge. She did retire because of the way they was treating her.
They did, and she's out in Paris right now doing Fashion Week.
Yeah,
But hey,
she's a model now.
Okay, like I don't.
Took her talent somewhere else.
And you have that right, but that's just not it, in my opinion. Like Jimmy Butler was getting cracked on for his hair, for Rachel Nichols, for everything. Like Chris Paul, we call Anthony Davis street clothes. You got to be able to take some of the criticism. That comes with the territory. It ain't misogynistic to criticize a woman because we criticize men. John, I agree. Sacramento's doing. They getting better.
Yeah, they're the second best in this draft, right behind Houston.
But the battle for LA next year should be fierce, or not LA, for California. I think everybody's really getting better. I don't know about the Lakers and the Clippers have been quiet, but if they move Paul George and get some stuff, I think they can bounce back. I would trade Kawhi Leonard, not Paul George. And he is going to Dallas. So Dallas has made a couple trades tonight. The Luka Trae Young trade worked out, so I'll reserve judgment. I still would take Luka over. They said that's a balanced trade. I don't. I think Luka's much better than Trae Young in my opinion, but I'm not the biggest Trae fan. But yeah, ladies, I would encourage y'all to get thicker skin. Like it will be to your benefit. Colin Kaepernick is a household name, not because of his play on the field. It came around something else, and he took a stand for something, but it was a lot of negativity. The president of the United States called him a very mean name. And you just got to work through that. You got to work through the blackballs. You got to work through the negative media. Like, that's just what it is. John, that's the point I'm making. Like, all your news coverage can't be positive. We can't only highlight the good. If y'all out here doing some, just like they let that Becky Hammond situation just swept it under the rug. Run with that a little bit. Bring some attention. Bring some drama. I don't know. I think the WNBA on right now? They're playing right now, ain't they?
Yeah, they playing right now.
Like, who even knows? Like, I don't know. Who the heck is this? And they throwing up gang signs. Oh man, get him out of here. Jordan recruited a gang member to throw up his gang signs. Lord have mercy. No, I'm just joking. I don't know nothing about this kid.
Only you.
But he is 6'2.5". You know who else is about 6'2.5"?
I thought John was about 6'3".
You're making my point.
Oh, he's shooting. Oh, he's pulling. Oh,
I guess.
Oh,
at
he
this point.
Oh, he got speed too.
Because they trade. No, they just brought in Marcus Smart.
Yeah, I don't see what's up. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe Marcus Smart is not a long-term situation. Maybe he only there for a night.
Shooting range and defender sounds like Marcus Smart. They even got the same name.
They both MS, huh?
Like, I don't understand. Like, I don't know. Somewhere I went wrong in life, and nobody decided to make me a GM. But I know I'm better than some of these guys. Like, what the heck are they doing? But shout out to him, first round pick, guaranteed contract. Get your money, man. I don't know. Okay, so I didn't have the sound on. Apparently, this is not the Celtics. So he's going to the Celtics. So they just replaced Marcus Smart.
Oh, okay, Marcus with Marcus.
Got it. All right.
They just got to erase some of the letters off the last name.
Yeah, I'm not Sass or whatever, but all right. So they got their backup point guard in Boston, not in Memphis.
Well, it looked like Malcolm Brogdon will be starting for the Boston Celtics.
Yeah, as he should. I think he earned that. But yeah, we're entering the final countdown here in the first round. Yeah, deadly shooter in Boston. Yeah, they could use that because we know Jason Tatum can build some houses when he get going. And Jaylen Brown, Game 7, Jaylen Brown is the world's best bricklayer. Like he started his own construction company in Game 7, and he got a bakery. All them turnovers. He built the bakery with his bricks by hand, and he's selling the turnovers to anybody who want them. You just got to stand on the left side of the building.
All this great say you got to go on the left side of the drive-thru.
Left side of the building, unlimited turnovers for you. And the foundation of the building is strong. Wait, I thought KP was the PG. Porzingis?
I don't know what you're talking about there, buddy. Tatum would have played point guard before Porzingis.
Yeah, I don't know if that maybe a typo.
I told you Damian would be trolling, man.
Damien, you just let me down at the end, Damien. You could have just kept that to yourself one time. You're making me look bad. I was riding for you earlier. So I don't know. But yeah, I think tonight's been a successful night for a lot of teams. I am surprised Chicago hasn't done anything. I would have thought they would have tried. They got to figure something out.
What are you surprised about? Chicago haven't did anything in a draft in
They got like 8 guards. You got Lonzo Ball. Okay, yeah. So they're finalizing this deal. So yeah, Wizards get Gallinari, Muscala, Tyus Jones, and the 35th pick. So we got another pick coming up. Grizzlies got Marcus Smart, and this trade, to John's point, goes to Boston. So Boston gets their backup, potentially point guard of the future. Blame it on the sleep. Okay, that's all right, Damien. Because I like you, I'll give you a pass. It was a mistake.
Nah, he trolling.
Also, from what I've heard, isn't coming back ever.
That's what I heard. They can't find out what's wrong with his knee. And I've heard that he's almost given up of him trying to search for answers for his knee.
He got one contract out of it. So congratulations, but one and done.
It looks like he'd be living off his brother contract now.
I was about to say I want to add because this question came up. I was at work earlier with a young lad that I was trying to educate.
Oh Lord.
Is it time to admit that Lonzo Ball is a bust?
Yes. I think Lonzo Ball has played on 3 different teams since he's been in the league.
Yeah.
And I don't think he's played half of the season of none of those 3 different teams. So yes, I think it's safe to say that he's a bust.
Whoa.
Zion is not there.
Zion has an all-star appearance. I don't think Lonzo has an all-star appearance. And Zion, by all accounts, should be available to start next season.
He better. He got a lot of mouths to feed.
Yeah.
Got a lot of females to take care of next year. He got a lot of pockets to fill up. A little hush money.
Okay, so we have a trade. The Kings are sending, which makes sense, Raquan Holmes and number 24 to Dallas.
Number 24, wasn't that? No.
Who was that? Who was 24?
Man, it was just like 3 picks ago.
Let me see if I can pull it up real quick. But Dallas, so that might be their Christian Wood replacement. Let me see here. Click on that there. This is not user friendly. Charlotte is back on the clock. So we'll see what they do. All right, here we go. Number 24 was okay. The guy from our. Oh yeah, so they basically traded his replacement. But no, he was getting traded to Dallas. So Dallas, wait, what?
Yeah, you confused.
So who did they get?
You is confused.
They traded number 24 to Dallas. He was a trade player exception. Was also acquired. Oh, so Dallas. When did Dallas pick? I don't know, and my iPad just died. So I don't understand who Sacramento got back in that deal. So if anybody has that, cool. If not, we've kind of reached our time, so we're gonna get out of your way anyway. But small trade there. But I did expect some more out of Chicago. They got to do something. They got a bunch of guards and a bunch of people that are overpaid, including Lonzo. So.
Because I think they lost Kobe White. I think he's going to be lost in the free agent, if I'm not mistaken. I think he either declined his option also, or he's a free agent this offseason.
So, John, did that 10th pick, is that who Sacramento's getting? Because I did see that, the 10th pick, and I'm trying to pull it back. This thing is trash. It should not be this hard. There we go. They drafted a point guard, which I don't think they need a point guard. They got a phenomenal point guard, an all-star, almost superstar point guard with the 10th pick. So I don't know. Maybe we'll get more clarity on that trade and what Sacramento got out of it, besides trading away who I would have thought was Holmes' replacement. So we'll see on that. Y'all continue to stay tuned into the draft. We will have more recap of the fights over the weekend. Hopefully, there are some more trades to come. Apparently, the Hornets said Miller was the favorite all along, and Scoot says he's hoping to play with Lillard. That is not a great endorsement.
Wait, hold on. You Scoot? Didn't he go to Cleveland? I mean, Charlotte? No, that was Brandon Miller. Oh, all right, no, I was getting ready to say, golly.
So yeah, and yeah, they got Shaden Sharp and Anthony Simons is 24 years old, and I thought they paid Simons. So then the Duke kid Lively is going to Dallas. Okay, this is a lot to try and do on the fly. I need a researcher, somebody that can give me graphics and all the cool stuff. We ain't got it. Jay Ness, you're on the clock. Get us a researcher so we don't be on here sounding like idiots. Now I'm just playing. Shout out to Jay and all the work he's doing. So Lively. That was the 12th pick, who is a center. That makes sense. A 7'2" guy in Sacramento makes a lot more sense. Oh, man.
Oh, hold on. Charlotte went and got a starting point guard.
Did they?
Yeah, that's who they just drafted.
Nick Smith. He got to be getting traded. Nah, point guard. He's 6'5". What is this, Lonzo LaMelo 2.0?
I guess they said he's a starting point guard. Oh, yeah, he's another LaMelo. He's a flyer.
Apparently had a knee injury. He's best with the ball in his hands. His ability to change speeds. Maybe he's a backup. Which also means they got to get Terry Rozier off that roster.
Yeah, that means Scary Terry's he's up.
Yeah, you got to get him out of there. And he's not fitting.
Man, something to LA. We'll take him.
Yeah. So yeah, y'all enjoy the rest of the draft. I am going to go enjoy it myself. It's been a pleasure covering this with y'all. Pretty cool experience. Damien, sorry it wasn't more entertaining of a draft. Not the big name trades we thought. All the top three kind of went as expected. But I think a lot of teams got better. Houston got better. Sacramento, I think, got better now that I see what they did. I think Charlotte is better. Charlotte is better. I think Houston is still the winner right now, but I think Charlotte's getting better. But they just need to get rid of them 2 guys and bring in some veterans. If they could go get Paul George somehow, that would be great. Somebody asked about Paul George to Golden State early, and I think that's giving up too much for a guy that with an injury history that he has. But if I am Charlotte or Charlotte, I don't think Houston would go do that. I think he'd be a good fit in Houston. But
you would have to give up either Green or
and maybe that's why they drafted the way they did. So I don't know. And you got to match the money, and he makes max money. So I don't know if they have max money on their roster. But it's been a pleasure, y'all. We will be back on Monday, far as I know. Clippers, I agree with you, Damian. There you go. You spitting that knowledge again. Get that man out of there. He just can't play. And I don't know who's going to take it because he can't play. Maybe he need to go back to San Antonio or something. But yeah, best of luck to everybody. Hope y'all enjoyed y'all Father's Day and Juneteenth. We got more and more stuff coming here on ASAP Network. So obviously stay tuned with more coverage later tonight and next week. But y'all have a blast, and it is almost time for free agency. This time next week, we will be about ready to kick off free agency, and I am pumped because I think that is going to bring even more drama than tonight brought. So it should be exciting. Y'all stay blessed. Stay up.